All right, what do we have here today? We got D-Boy West Coast Uncensored coming to you on Anchor, and we will also be on video, and we will get uploaded onto the YouTube channel in some other instances, maybe in Twitter and some other Facebook and stuff. So different social media. D-Boy West Coast Uncensored, glad to be here today as we are in the end of April. Today I believe is the 24th, so we're in the last week of April. It's good to be here. Like I said, Anchor's always been a great supporter, and I appreciate what Anchor does in this process of being able to use it. And it's been really a blessing. Yes, you are, Anchor. You've been a blessing. Numbers going up. I've seen some of my recent Anchor numbers going up into, one of them is going into rarefied air, getting in that top 5. So that's cool. And some of the other ones, the Ram and Aries is also moving its way there. And so is as I did the 1 and 2 on myself, on my life story, about knowing a little bit about me. And yeah, I wanted to touch on something today that I was really thinking about, got into conversations, and just contemplating life for us as we marvel and go down this path that we're going down. It's just powerful. It's just something that we have done, and the experience, and sometimes through it, the experience can be quite experience of, are you coming and going? Are you in a fight? What's really going on here? Do I feel, am I missing the boat? Am I off sync? Why is there's a warfare going on within me, and kind of going on within my members, within my mind, within myself? There's times we borrow trouble ahead instead of living in the present. We deal with looking ahead to situations, to people, and a lot of times it's family members, right? So what I was going to talk about today was, I like to do the 3 little impacts of what most of the podcasts are about, and this is renovation, transformation, and balance, and how these really work together in harmony, and how by doing that you can actually obtain a lot of growth, and then kind of be aware of it. This is, I see a lot of people, here's what's happening. A lot of people have gained a lot of knowledge, but this is a time that we're living in as we've entered to a new age, a new season, a new way. It's not so much of what your knowledgeable is. Does your knowledge kick to the next level of application? I did a video like a year ago, maybe not that long. I mean, a podcast on knowledge, and it was like, look at the word knowledge. Knowing takes you to the ledge. Wisdom is taken when you go past that ledge, when you jump out off the ledge into your fears, into the application of your knowledge, to be an application into being wisdom, which is an application of being, which is going to credit you into your karma, dharma, into paying your creativity, meaning your creativity will be paid for. Think about it. When you go to college, they talk about, you need to pay your intuition for this semester, right? You need to pay your tuition. We need to pay our intuition, because that's a copy of your intuition. It really is. The whole system is a copycat of us being the main application, because we're an app. If you think about it, we are an app. Our brain has memory like a RAM. I've said many times, our eyes are like camera. Our hair is like the Wi-Fi. All the applications, your ears are like antennas, your ears are sonar, all these different applications we could see what we do. All that which we see is like going to the next level, what we think is the next level of knowledge of computer, is all based upon you. It really is. It can be artificial, what they're giving. It can be not organic, but let me tell you what, you're the organic field, torus field of this. You really are. So when you start thinking about that, you got to pay intuition. How do you pay intuition? You start having to do something to get to that intuition. To pay it, you have to start. This requires, and I'm going to call it renovation. Why renovation? Renovation is something you do to bring something back into what it was before. It's also the process of improving something that was broken, damaged, or outdated. Our old thinking and our old ways, as we became into where we're at now in our walk, is requiring a renovation of ourselves to walk into the next light that we are, in the next knowledge we are, in the application of our. We have to renovate old thinking and old behaviors and old things that are connected to us. We have to renovate. We have to change it. We have to go within and start doing the work to change it. And as you go through the work, it's kind of like that pearl that has to be rubbed and rubbed and rubbed and rubbed and rubbed, and then it becomes that pearl, right? Of a great price. That oyster has to be rubbed and rubbed. Pain, suffering. And a lot of times when we're going through the renovation, which is the change that you're going through, I'll even call it piercing the veil of yourself, going through the outdated old structure you believe, living outside of yourself and outside of yourself concepts. You start getting the information as you start relying on going in with yourself. And this is a renovation of your lifestyle, of your mind, mentally, physically, emotionally, and even spiritually. All these aspects of this are connected to it, and at times it can be a fight within. It can be a warfare within, it feels like. It feels like you don't know if you're coming or going. Frustration, right? Not knowing if you're coming or going. You may even feel the effects of depression. You may even feel the effects that you don't feel right, that something's wrong, something's missing. You might miss the boat. You might even at times feel your synchronicity is not connecting right. Your Wi-Fi runs a little slow. The apps are slowed down. It's because you got to get rid of the old ways, the old apps. You got to get rid of that old thinking and that old mind, and it's gonna rub. It's gonna rub. I want to know time. Time is not of the essence, but if you can go into my archives in Anchor, you will see I did a podcast on the program and the deprogrammer, and this is an aspect of renovation of deprogramming too. You're deprogramming. You're getting rid of old thoughts. So when something's broken and damaged, guess what? You have to knock it down. Old walls take sledgehammers. You got to knock down the walls. You got to renovate it to create the new thing that you're building, the new house, the new mindset, the new way, the new you, the next level you. You're going to destroy that which is damaged. You're going to take out all the process of that outdated structure, the old thinking, the broken down walls that you've broken down as you broke down the walls of old paradigms and thinking. Now what you're doing is you're actually, by doing this, you're taking on a full responsibility of dealing with that other fellow or that other woman or that other person. It doesn't have to be a male or female, the other side of you. Now you're going to deal, as you get this wall, the aspects of your multi-dimensional stuff from different aspects of your level, multi-dimensional stuff. If you're definitely a water sign, feelings run deep. I'm a Pisces. I have I have people connected to me that are definitely Scorpios, and then Cancer. And those are all the water signs, and emotions really run deep. So through those emotions running deep, you feel deep, you're inquisitive deep, but also the other side of that, it can be challenging because sometimes it could be very, you're looking for a feeling that you don't feel because those feelings run so deep. And when you don't have a feeling, sometimes you can feel lost. Or if you overfeel and don't know how to turn it off and turn it on and balance it out. But anyways, the renovation is going to break all that stuff down. You have to do the inside work, renovation. If this is the thing, this is the type of losing your life to find it. This is giving up that which you thought your possessions. Letting your possessions go so you can find the true possession. It's walking down the broad path or walking down the narrow path. The broad path, everybody's following, everybody's a follower. They're going that way. But the narrow path are them that are starting to learn to follow only what their heart and what their voice and what their inner spirit being says, whatever you want to put on it, that name, label you want to put on it says. So that renovation could go into a lot of different levels of yourself. Like I said, emotionally, relationships, family. As you know, you're growing. There's many of your family members that don't have a clue of the revelation and enlightenment you walked into, and they're still living in belief systems. And one of the renovations is getting rid of belief systems. Belief systems don't serve you. Belief systems are programming. Belief systems were put there by programmers of the system to have you follow their program, to latch you on like a leech. When you start deprogramming, it can feel very harsh, and that's what happens to a lot of us. Is we start deprogramming through the renovation of our own temple, of our own mind, and we're tearing down the damaged and broken and outdated structures, outdated thoughts, outdated things that don't serve you anymore because you've upgraded. You're going to the next level. You see a whole new mindset. You see a whole new temple. You see a whole new way that you're going to go, and you know that this does, but it's not. It's tough. It's not peaches and cream and namaste all the time. It's not. Sometimes you have to be a warrior, and that's not always a warrior against somebody else or something else. It's a warrior against yourself. So that's going to bring you into through this renovation. This is going to bring you into the transformation. Everybody wants to go through the transformation, right? Wants to see the outcome of the transformation, better said yet. When the reality is we see the caterpillar, then we see what it becomes with after. But inside job that the caterpillar is doing, turning into a butterfly, we don't have by the naked eye visions to see that. That's also us. We don't have. This is happening with us and through your experience, how you feel, what you're going through, learning to do what you need to do. And then in this transformation that you're looking for, be it your growth, be it for who you really are, next level, for your birth and your rebirth and your dying and coming back to life in the next level of yourself. We're dying daily to ourselves, right? I mean, that's something that's happening. The transformation, sometimes we think, is the ultimate. It's like, haha, the system's over. But I believe the transformation is so deep and we're so multi-levelable that it's a continuous aspect that we transform. We don't transform all at once. We transform from one level to the next level. You're not the little boy, little girl body that you were at 6. You're not that if you're past the age of a teenager. You're not that if you're a young adult. You're there. Then there's going to be the older adult. There's going to be the older person. There's always a physical, mental, and a spiritual transformation that you're seeing. And the thing is that who you really are within is something that you're renovating through this. And the renovation that you're going through is going to be huge in the transformation that you want to come into. The transformation is dramatic change in how you act, how you do things, how you experience things, what you understand, and in your revelation, your enlightenment, and then the big key is learning how to apply your knowledge to go to the next level. And applying it is also, this transformation is applying it is not like a flip of a coin, right? Listen, not that. Did you hear that? I hope you guys did. That's me flipping a coin. It's not a flip of a coin. It's not by chance. You're transforming into something that's very natural to yourself, but the process is like the growing of anything, a flower, anything in nature, that it's a process that you have to go through, and it's so much connected to the renovations. You're going to change who you are. That's why a lot of people will judge you by what they know you from. Hear what I'm saying? They will judge you by what they know you from, or what you used to be before you had transformations. That's how a lot of times people will know. And I've had friends and family from the way in the distant past connect and they go, remember when we used to do this, or remember when we're like this and do this. And I've even talked to somebody that's a family member and they were like, yes, this is how we are. And I'm looking at them and hearing what they're saying, but realizing they don't realize a transformation, and they don't realize your transformation because they're seeing you how you used to be. Transformation aspect is going to be seen through the eyes of them who know transformation. Because sometimes some of your transformation to them who don't know it will, one of the key words will call you crazy. They think you're crazy. They think you're out there. And the reality is that people aren't having these experiences. So in your life, if you're having these experiences, count it all a joy, and that your walk has taken you to this place. Because not everybody's in the same place, and not everybody who walk is yours. You're walking in your moccasins, and if you're walking through this renovation to a transformation, the renovation's tough because you're tearing down, man, those old walls. You're taking a sledgehammer, you're breaking down that old ground, that old wall. You're breaking down the roof, you're breaking down the sidewalls. But when this starts to transform, this is going to be this structure is going to be something to behold. And only them that can behold these things will even see it or recognize it. For some, don't have a language for it. Hear what I'm saying? Some just don't have a language for it. And it's dramatic for some. Notice the word dramatic, like a drama, but it's automatic. If you're going through the renovation, automatically nature is going to allow you to transform. Is it going to be easy? Now, there's times you're like, this stuff sucks. I feel like I'm being betrayed. I feel like nothing's working. I feel out of sync, synchronized. Maybe people outside of you, relationships that you have seem to maybe festering or even coming to abrupt ends, because they can come very abruptly when things are changing and you're transforming, because their transformation is not your transformation. You're not living in the same flower field as them anymore when you're transformed. The same conscious zone. They're not observing. They're not able to observe themselves like you can. To know yourself is to know who you are, is to know the word, like I said, they say God. To know God is to know yourself. This is an old Egyptian or Kemet teaching. I don't like the word Egypt because Egypt's actually not the correct word. Egypt is actually the Europeans or the Greeks' name for it, but it's not what they call themselves. Kemet, where we get the word chemistry, would be to know yourself, would be the value of knowing the greater self and the greater connection by knowing yourself. This is a process, and it can be very painful. Like I said, it's definitely hard. Sometimes it could be walking a road by yourself. Like I said, there's a lot of things happening, and I believe in this world, in the physical, even outside of us, there's a pushing to the next level of people wanting to push the Great Reset. And it's up to you. I'm one. It's not following the road. No. Pay too much of a price. No, too much. I'm going to stay on that road that's not walked by many. Because this has been the renovation and the transformation. Is when you know that you know that you know, start applying it. Let your knowledge take you to the ledge, and then jump off the ledge facing your fears. Jump off the ledge. Jump off the high-story building and find out that any step you take after that is going to be a step where there's no step, but when you take a step, the step will appear. You're being creative. You're going down, you're walking a road that's very few are walking, because everybody's walking the wide road where everybody's following everybody and nobody knows where they don't know where they're going. And they don't know where they're being led by. 2, we're walking a road that we're creating, that you don't see the step, but when you put your foot out to step, it appears. That's how creative, and that's how, sometimes I don't like to use the word, but I understand it fully what it is. That's where the magic is. That's where the creativity is. That's where the breath is. That's where the spirit is. That's where the life is. You're creating that. It's being balanced, and that's where it's so part as you go into this transformation leads us to the third, balance. Balance is an even distribution of weight, enabling someone or something to remain upright and steady, to remain balanced, upright and steady. The balance through this is the creative zone. This is that neutral zone where you're neither going left nor right. You're neither you're going into the center of yourself. You're going into what we'd call that just mental, that corpus, that third eye. You're going into the center of yourself. You're going into the place where that you're so centered that you're neither going left nor right, meaning I'm not going to judgment. Because notice the word, we have to use right like doing the right thing. And the opposite of going right is going left. But left and right is a place you go. But being centered is the place where no judgment is. And this is why through this, being centered is where your magnificentness, your uniqueness, because this is where your creative part is in the non-judgment part of yourself. Why? Because when you judge, you're being judged. So that's why it's so important not even to fully get enwrapped with judging yourself, to be able to let it go. It's okay to judge yourself. It's okay to evaluate. It's okay to do a diagnostic test, right? We have tools to adjust things. Spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, we have these tools to make these sort of adjustments. But not to go into judgment and wishing something that was different that's past, and then getting into the judgment of wishing so much and wanting so much that you get caught in the judgment goes. Because if you judge, you're going to be judged. If you judge, you're going to be judged. That's just a rulership of what happens in the cosmos. It's you bring it on to yourself. It's you bringing it on to yourself by this judgment aspect. So when you shift gears into the neutral gear, this is where your created power is. This is where your fortune. Notice the word fortune and then break it down. Fortune. You're forking or you're tuning yourself up, because this is where your created assistance is going into the neutral state and not living in the judgment of the left and the right. So you don't go into the renovation and transformation. You allow it to happen because it is natural. It's actually so natural. It's a dramatic. It's automatic, but it is some drama in it. Hear what I'm saying? It is an automatic process of nature, but it is some drama in it, because you will feel the high emotions and the high drama of going through it. But here's the deal. When you get into the balance, and this is the key thing, balance, I've learned, is really not something you achieve. It's something that you always work on. It's always before you to remain in the balanced state. And it's easily, I know what I'm not. I know the things that lead me out of it. Where I go to when I kind of go out of balance, I know it for me personally. And that's something I have to work on daily, because I don't like the feeling and I don't like what it brings. So I try to work on that daily. Am I perfect? None of us is perfect. This is why it's a continual. The earth is a school. This is really, you know about the school. It's not first grade to 12th grade. You notice that the first grade to 12th grade is like the 12-step program at AA. And then you have 12 apostles and you have the 12 zodiac signs. 12 is a huge number. Know those numbers. But what balance can do for you through the aspects of knowing that this balance, that through this that you will achieve, is where the creative is. That's where your creative force is, in the neutral. Think about your car. You don't use neutral very much, right? It's always drive, most, reverse, park. Neutral is something that you only use usually when you clean your car, right? When there's a cleansing of your car, which is kind of like karma, car mom, car mother, car feminine aspect. It's actually a good line to take you to do. Karma is not a judgment. Karma is a teacher and instructions, a balancer. Just think about it. When you become more balanced is where you want to get to create the things that you need to do to create the harmony. You ever been in such a synchronicity place, be synchronized, and then you drive in a parking lot, and then the parking lot appears to be full, but then somebody pulls out right as you're going in, and you got a parking lot close, and you go, man, that's perfect, man. That was just like, it's perfect for me. You know, you're doing these things and it happens automatically, and you say, man, I'm synchronized. Everything that happens. And that's where your synchronicity is in this aspect of the balance and the mindset of being in that place of balance. So when you can balance these aspects, the renovation's hard. The transformation's the glory of the renovation, but the balance is keeping this temple, the forehead, the temple, the supreme brachium. Have you ever seen the supreme brachium? Look it up. If you guys went to school or study the brain, you'll see it looks like a bull's horn, like Taurus. And then you see it's kind of in the middle, and that's where you see the cross with the horns. That's really where the cross, one of the aspects of the cross, is in the superior brachium. But all that's really good story. So this is really what it was about, the renovation, transformation, and balance. And I'm at the 25-minute, nearly 26 minutes, so we're going to call it in. Thank you guys for being a part of what we do here. This is very, very powerful. I'm going to do another video, and there's something I thought I was looking at and talking to somebody the other day, and I thought about this, that the yin and the yang, and that other side of you, if we really get balance with it, will always actually be the balance of yourself, because it's going to kind of be it's kind of going to be the thing that balances you out from the other side. When we really balance, we'll see that other side of us to the other side of us, whatever, if we go one way, left or right, is going to be there to put you back in the center. I'm going to kind of talk about how there's the aspects of even shadow self and our dark side and the negative thing, and the other side of us that seems to always be against us actually is kind of balancing us out if we start operating and looking at it with a good eyesight to really what it is, third eye eyesight, to see how that actually benefits us. But you guys have a great day. This is D-Boy from West Coast Uncensored, and you guys have a great day.